I'm hoping you have seen this new Undisputed commercial. It's now airing fairly regularly on Fox and on FS1. We call it, quote unquote, eulogy because I'm supposed to deliver a eulogy, as you've probably seen, at a funeral service at the gravesite in the cemetery. Only, well, I hope you've seen it. So the original concept was I'm supposed to eulogize the deceased at the funeral, but I just can't help myself. I can't stop thinking about my Dallas Cowboys or sports in general. And I lose it. And this was the original concept. I start talking about how my team just lost its star edge rusher to an injury and how I'm so torn up about it that I just can't stop myself from spilling over about it. And the message line of the commercial is, when your brain is full of sports, there isn't room for much else, which, given my brain, is extremely accurately, legitimately, authentically true as true can be. So I wrote one script I did not love, sent it to Robert. I don't think he loved it either. He's working with an independent director, great guy, smart man named Clay Weiner. They shot back a new proposed opening line for me to sort of riff on. It's times like this that make you wonder why. Something you would say to open a eulogy at a real funeral. This did give me a little bit more of a creative spark, yet it wasn't until the Friday night before the Saturday we were scheduled to shoot said commercial that it finally struck me like lightning. After maybe my 8th or 10th attempt at a script, I thought, wait a minute, forget about fiction. Let's go back to fact, to what has already happened that did, in fact, legitimately tear me up. Why not go real, go full on Cowboys, but go detailed past tense? Even before I strode out to the set, the mourners were all in place. There were, I don't know how many, 30 or 40 of them. They had shot some cutaways with the mourners already. Michael and Keyshawn weren't to arrive until about an hour after I would shoot some of my stuff. So finally it was my turn, and I had to walk across part of the cemetery, and I must admit it was pretty creepy stepping over and around gravestones, many, many gravestones. So first up, the woman who played the deceased niece stepped to the little podium, and she was so convincingly distraught. I sure bought it. It made me want to cry, seriously. It was so good. Bravo to her. Then as the priest helped her away, my turn. I marched to the podium. I took out my quote unquote notes out of my suit coat pocket, spread them out. Nothing on the notes. And I let it fly. I poured my heart out for 5 straight minutes about how my Cowboys had torn my heart out at Arizona, at San Francisco, at Philadelphia. I did not stumble or fumble one time. As Veronica Corningstone says in Anchorman, I nailed it. I did. for what it was worth. And when I finished, there was a long moment of hushed silence on that set because nobody knew what to expect from me. And then there was applause. Robert Gottlieb and Clay, the director, were like, whoa, wow, where did that come from? The woman who played the niece was nearby, and she immediately congratulated me and asked me, have you acted before? And I said, no, I have not. And that was not acting. That was as real as it gets. I was truly, authentically speaking from the bottom of my heart because I thought that was the only way to get this to work. About an hour later, it was all about Michael Irvin and Keyshawn Johnson, who were both amazing as they played off me during my quote unquote eulogy. Amazing. So was the man who played the priest, who approaches me just after I finish, as you might have seen in the commercial, and leans in and says, how about them Cowboys? If you get it, if you buy into it, that's funny. I hope you enjoyed that video. You ready for more? Make sure you click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from the Skip Bayless Show. And don't forget to check out the full episode of the show wherever you get your podcasts by clicking the link in the description.